Hi everyone, it's Dr. Sadaf, and a question that I get asked sometimes is, can I still get pregnant during perimenopause? So let's talk about this question because it is super important. I get this all the time and people are curious, and the answer is absolutely. You can absolutely get pregnant in perimenopause. And the reason is because during this perimenopause transition, leading up to menopause, your periods become irregular, and so that means that you're still ovulating, and that doesn't completely stop. So that means pregnancy is absolutely still possible. And even if your cycles are so spaced out, it's still unpredictable. Medically, as you know, we define menopause as not having a period for up to 12 months. So until you hit that mark, there's still a chance of pregnancy, although it is pretty low. And studies show that women in their 40s can and do conceive naturally, though of course the fertility rates at that point are much lower than in somebody that's in their 20s or 30s. So if pregnancy is something that you absolutely do not want, make sure that you use some type of contraception until your doctor or until you've confirmed that you've no longer had any menses. And if you're hoping to conceive, know that it may take longer. And of course, you would want to see an infertility specialist, because if you are not ovulating that often, there are less chances that you'll get pregnant. So bottom line, perimenopause isn't the end of fertility. It's definitely a transition. And so if you do not want to get pregnant, make sure you use some type of contraception, because although it's not as easy to get pregnant during perimenopause, it can still happen. So one of the questions I get asked often in my office is, why do hot flashes happen? So hot flashes are sudden waves of heat that leave you flushed and sweaty, affect about 75% of women during menopause. But what exactly is happening? So the brain's thermostat is controlled by the hypothalamus, and when estrogen levels fall, the hypothalamus becomes more sensitive to even tiny changes in body temperature. It basically overreacts, triggering a heat dissipation response. So blood vessels dilate, you sweat, and you feel that intense heat. Is due to a disruption in the thermoregulatory control within the hypothalamus, triggered by a decline in estrogen levels during the menopausal transition. Now, for some women, hot flashes are mild and short-lived. For others, though, they can last years and disrupt daily life and definitely sleep. The good news is that there's definitely treatments available. So things such as lifestyle modifications like layering clothing and keeping rooms cool, to medical therapies like hormone therapy, which is the most effective option and is FDA approved. There's also non-hormonal medications and mind-body approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy that you can also try for hot flashes. So if you're dealing with hot flashes, you don't have to just suffer through them. Know that there are safe and effective solutions that can definitely restore your quality of life. Is weight gain during menopause normal? So this is one of the most common questions that I get asked in my clinic. It's also one of the most frustrating symptoms that women deal with during this perimenopause time and transition into menopause. And this is due to a decreased level of estrogen during this time. Now, research from the SWAN study shows us that women gain about 5 to 8 pounds on average during the menopausal transition. Now, why is that? It's not just hormones. Aging slows metabolism, we naturally lose muscle, and estrogen decline shifts fat storage toward our belly from our hips and our thighs. Add in poor sleep, stress, and lifestyle changes, and the pounds can definitely add up. But here's the good news. Weight gain isn't inevitable. So there are strategies that work, include resistance training to build muscle, focusing on protein and whole foods, and prioritizing your sleep. Now, let's talk about 3 things that I personally do to help control my weight during this perimenopause phase into menopause. So lifting heavy weights, that's one of the most important things. You have to incorporate weight training into your routine, which is so crucial. And as we age, we lose muscle mass, which can slow down our metabolism. But by lifting heavy weights, we help to build muscle, which can counteract the effect of this belly fat and help you burn calories throughout the day. Increasing fiber intake. So fiber is essential for weight management because it helps to keep us fuller longer and reducing the likelihood of overeating. You want to aim to consume about 25 to 30 grams of fiber per day from sources like fruits, vegetables, whole grains, and legumes. last thing, you definitely want to increase your protein intake. So protein is so important for maintaining muscle mass and keeping you feeling full. So consider adding like a protein shake to your daily routine to help meet your protein goals. Aim for about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight. And if you incorporate these 3 tips into your lifestyle, they can make a huge difference in managing your weight during menopause.